Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I am going to show you a variation of this project. I found this on Pinterest and it's one of those ones where nobody watermarked it and it's been saved goodness knows how many times and I have no idea where it came from. So if it was you, thank you very much. This is going to be my adaptation of this, of the pin I should say, because this is slightly different. So I am using the Butterfly Gala stamp set. This was the one that went absolutely mad when it was launched in the Spring Summer catalogue. And I'm using the Duet Punch, although I am only using one of the butterflies. So I'm only using the big butterfly. So this one I did using the Noble Peacock foil in Pretty Peacock with Pretty Peacock Classic ink, which because it's on vellum, you can actually put clear embossing powder on. And then I pulled the Pretty Peacock sequins from the woven thread sequins assortment for the sequin area, and then for the rhinestones, that was from the Noble Peacock rhinestones. The sentiment, I wanted a nice small little sentiment, so I've actually used the sentiment for you from Wildly Happy because I wanted that script, and I then extended it so that it was a longer tail on each end. So let me show you how I made it. I started off with the stitched rectangle dies, and I cut a window in a standard card blank. So this is the third from largest, and then on a piece of just plain Whisper White I cut the next one in. In fact, on the original I used, I think I want to say, yes, I used this, which was the second largest, but for this one I'm going a little bit narrower because I decided I wanted a smaller gap. And I'm going to do everything in silver, so it's going to be silver, but the stamping I'm going to do for the background butterfly, because there is a butterfly underneath, that I'm going to do in Memento. So let me show you how to put it all together. First thing to do is to grab a piece of vellum, and I'm going to use a silicone mat because the vellum is going to be too narrow for both butterflies, but as I only need one, that's not a problem. So a bit of embossing powder, not embossing buddy even. Love it when my brain's not working. I don't need that anymore, and I don't need the stamp set anymore. So I'm going to ink up both butterflies. I've changed to one of the other designs, but these butterflies are great if you want both because you ink both of them up together. And the punch also goes with the Butterfly Wishes stamp set. They don't line up together, but this butterfly and this butterfly work with the Butterfly Duet punch, so that's just useful to know. So let's stamp those in Versamark. And while that's doing its thing, I'll pop the lid on my Versamark. Silver embossing powder. And we have our silver embossed butterfly. Grab my trusty cheese board and just going to heat up my embossing tool. It's always best to have it hot before you go anywhere near anything, and just be careful on vellum, it melts very quickly. So just be aware. I'm going to melt the little butterfly as well. Okay, so there is our butterfly. I need that to dry because embossing powder does actually stay molten for a while. So I had a slight, I'm just thinking. No, I'll stay with what I was going to do. So, pop that away, grab my punch, which I very carefully put behind me, and slide this in, ready to punch out. So it's worth just spending a little bit of time lining it up properly. And punch. Don't need the little one, so we'll get rid of him. And that's our large one. Now I'm not going to worry about the body because I'm going to stick some rhinestones on that, so that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to use some Memento ink. Now I did have a think about, oh, I still know my stamp. Where's my stamp gone? Here we go. I did think about whether to heat emboss the words as well, but I decided against it. Purely because I think it might be a step too far. But I am going to ink up the butterfly that we've kept, if you see what I mean. So I need to just very carefully not ink up the other butterfly. You could mask it off if you wanted, but it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly perfect because we are going to cover it up. So stamp down and up, and then the antenna, and just add those there, and then grab the For You, and this is going to go just there, like that. So let's get rid of our Memento. Now I'm going to extend the U and the 4 with my basic black marker, and I'm just going to actually just touch up my antenna a bit because they were a bit fuzzy. I'm not going to worry about the blobs at the end because they're going to be covered up. So let me grab a couple of mini glue dots, and I want them in half. Actually, I can pop them on the card. That's one. And I shall pop this one on the butterfly as it's playing well. And then just pop our butterfly on top of our butterfly, if you see what I mean. And then just make sure that the wings have got a bit of a crease so that they can lift up. So that's our butterfly pretty much done. So the only other thing we need to do is to add some rhinestones. So I'm going to put little rhinestones on his antenna. Might actually find that it's going to be easier using my sticky end. So little rhinestones there. Pop that on so I don't stab myself. Always a plan. Then some medium rhinestones, which I've got on a separate sheet, on his body. I'm just going to put 3 down the middle of his body, and then some little rhinestones mixed in with some larger ones as his trail. Now obviously you can use the metallic sequins instead. I would say that using sequins does take quite a lot longer, but it is certainly an option. The thing with using sequins is that you need to put the glue down, wait until it's reasonably tacky, and then put the sequin on. So you've got a sort of an ideal window of opportunity to get it right. And if you don't, It can be a bit annoying. Okay, so let us grab our card base. Now I've cut a piece of silver foil, and yes, I know I could gut it, but I'd have to cover the back anyway. So I've grabbed a piece of silver foil that's at my usual first matte size, and that is going to go on the back. So I'm going to use a mixture of snail and Tombow. Snail for instant adhesion and Tombow for good adhesion. So that goes on there like so. Then turn it over. I might as well press it down now. Make sure everything is well stuck. And then on the back of this, I'm going to pop some, actually I'm going to start with a strip of snail down the middle, and again that's for quick adhesion, and then Tombow for permanency, and that's only because on the foil that I find the Tombow has a habit of lifting. And then just pop that so that it's square in the frame, and there we go. So this one obviously is a slightly smaller frame, this one's slightly larger, but I like them both. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Pretty Peacock or the silver? I think they've both got their merits. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't already subscribe, there's a button in the bottom right hand corner. It'd be fantastic if you chose to subscribe to my channel. Very soon, I'm hoping to get to 7,000 subscribers, and then I will make sure I have finished clearing up my craft room, and then I can give you a tour of the studio. So the sooner I get to 7,000 subscribers, the sooner I will finish clearing up the mess. Some of it's fine and some of it is less so. So yeah, I've got it to the point where I can actually work, and that's probably a bad idea because it means I'm not finishing tidying it. Anyway, there'll be all the dimensions and everything I've used will be on my blog, which is linked immediately below, and I'll also list what I've used in the description bar below. If you would like to shop with me and you're in the UK, I would be thrilled. Do remember to use the host code if your order is under £150, because then you get to share in the hostess rewards, which is always fun. And do remember, the best deal that I have seen in a very long time is the starter kit extra promotion. So do have a look at that. There's information on that on my website as well. And if you're in the UK, but also France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands, I would love to welcome you to my team. I've already got team in mainland Europe, so you know we are set up for that. So yeah, it would be great to welcome some more Europeans and some more people based in the UK. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.